Hello everyone. So we are doing unit 2 kinematics. What we have done previously, position time graph, velocity time graph, and what we are doing in this video. We will derive the equations of motion by graphical method. Remember, we have already derived the equations by calculus, but now in this video we will derive the equations of motion by graphical method. We will also find out the distance traveled by a body in nth second and Galileo's law of odd numbers. So what you should know, the first thing, that the slope of a velocity time graph gives the acceleration of the body, that is slope is equals to acceleration for a velocity time graph. The second thing, the velocity time graph for constant velocity is a straight line parallel to time axis, while for positive acceleration it is a straight line. And as we know that the distance covered is equal to the area under the VT graph. Okay, now we will derive the equations of motion. So yes, this is the graph given. On y-axis I have taken velocity, on x-axis I have taken time. Let us suppose a body is moving along a straight line at time t equal to 0. The velocity OA is equals to u, that is the initial velocity. Now in going from A to B, what is happening? The velocity of the body goes on increasing at a constant rate A. So the body moves from A to B with a constant acceleration. Now at t equal to OC, when the time is equals to OC, the final velocity is V, which is equal to BC or CB, whatever you can say. Now what we are doing, we will draw AD perpendicular to BC and BE perpendicular to OY. Okay. Now let us derive the first equation of motion. As we know, acceleration is equal to the slope of velocity time graph. That is A is equals to BD upon AD. Now BD can be written as BC minus of DC, or you can say OA, it's the same thing, upon AD can be written as OC. Okay, now as we know, BC is equals to V and OA or CD is equals to U and OC is equals to T. So when we put the values, what we get, A is equal to V minus U upon T, or V equal to U plus AT. So we have derived the first equation of motion. Now let us move to the second equation of motion. Let S is the distance traveled by the body in time t in going from A to B. So the distance travel is equal to area of the figure OABC, which can be written as area of rectangle OADC plus area of triangle ADB. Okay, I have shaded both the parts. Now area of rectangle is OA into OC and area of triangle is half into base, which is AD, into altitude, which is BD. So distance is S is equal to OA is U, OC is T plus half. Now AD is T and BD is V minus U. So S is equal to ut plus half t and v minus u can be written as at from the first equation of motion. So what we are getting, S is equals to ut plus half at square. Let us move to the third equation of motion. Now as we know that distance S traveled by the body in time t is equal to the area of this figure OABC, which is a trapezium. Now this is the trapezium, shaded one. Now area of trapezium is half into sum of parallel sides into height. Now the parallel sides are OA and BC. Obviously OC and AB can't be parallel, so the only two parallel sides are OA and BC. Okay, and the height is AD, or you can say OC also. Distance is S, half OA is U, BC is V, and AD is T. Okay, now T can be written as V minus U upon A using the first equation of motion. So what we get on solving, on the right hand side it is V square minus U square upon 2AS, and we can write the third equation, which is V square minus U square is equal to 2AS, by cross multiplying the things. So we have derived the three equations of motion. Now we will find out the distance covered in nth second. Now, if I take the time is equal to n seconds, so the distance traveled by body in n seconds is equals to un plus half an square. Mind you, here n represents the time in seconds. Okay. Now, what is the distance traveled by the body in n minus 1 seconds? So in place of n, we are putting n minus 1. So this is what we are getting. On solving, we get un minus u plus half a in bracket n square plus 1 minus of 2n. Now, what is the distance covered in nth second? That will be equal to Sn minus 1. So we put the value of Sn and Sn minus 1. We solve it, and on solving, we get d nth, that is the distance covered in nth second, is equal to u plus half a and in bracket of 2n minus 1. Now we will derive the Galileo's law of odd numbers. First, let us understand what is the law. The law says that the distances traversed during equal intervals of time by a body falling from rest stand to each other in the same ratio as the odd numbers beginning with unity. That means the distances are in the ratio 1 is to 3 is to 5 is to 7 and so on. So let us consider a body falling freely from rest, that is u is equals to 0, and let the time be divided into many equal intervals t each. Let us use the second equation of motion, which is s is equal to ut plus half at square. U is 0, so what we get? We get s is equals to half gt square. Now let us tabulate. When time is 0, distance is 0. In terms of s, it is 0. When time is t, it is half gt square, which is equal to s. Now, what is the distance in successive intervals? S minus 0, that will give me s. The ratio is 1, s by s. Let the time be 2t. So the distance comes as half into g into 2t square, which is 4 times of half gt square, that is 4s. Now distance in successive intervals is 4s minus of s, that is 3s. The ratio is 1 is to 3, as you can see. Okay, or we can say the distance is 3. So this is 3s upon s will give me 3. Okay, when the time is 3t, as 3t is 9 times of half gt square, that is 9s, and the distance in successive intervals is 5s, and the ratio is 5. Now if I move to time equal to 4t, I will get this equal to 7s, and it will get 7, and so on. So we have proved the Galileo's law of odd numbers. Now there are some important points regarding the equations of motion. The three equations, as you know: if a body starts from rest or it is dropped from a height, take the initial velocity u is equals to 0. If a body comes to rest, take final velocity v is equals to 0. If brakes are applied or if the body is coming to rest, then acceleration is negative. In case of motion under gravity, a is equals to g, which is acceleration due to gravity. So the equation changes to v equal to u plus gt. S is equal to ut plus half gt square, and v square minus u square is equal to 2as. Now if the body is thrown vertically upwards, take g as negative. If the body is falling freely under gravity, take g as positive. Take g is equal to 10 meter per second square only if it is given in the question. Otherwise, take g is equal to 9.8 meter per second square. Now, let us recapitulate what we have done. The first equation of motion, v equal to u plus at. The second equation, s is equal to ut plus half at square. The third equation, v square minus u square is equal to 2as. The distance covered by body in nth second is u plus half into a into 2n minus 1. Galileo's law of odd numbers, which says that the distances traversed during equal intervals of time by a body falling from rest stand to each other in the same ratio as the odd numbers beginning with unity. That is, it will be in the ratio 1:3:5:7 and so on. Now do watch video on examples of equations of motion. Thank you so much.